Good Friday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go on and talk about the weather for your Friday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we are going to talk about for tonight. Obviously, we will talk about the weather that's currently going on throughout the state of South Carolina. Also that, and we will also talk about our weather for tonight. Now, we also have to talk about the tropics, because the tropics is also another big area that we are going to touch on, as well as just our future in general. And in terms of what's going on, especially with the cold front that's going to pass on Sunday. We're also going to talk about pretty much how it's going to be a stable pattern just as we go through, and how that will continue as we go into the rest of October, and just what's going to happen there. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, you're going to do so. Also, make sure that you go and hit the share button. Share with all the people that you know. We're at 598, trying to get to 600. We are two. That's it. 2 subscribers away from that main goal. 2 subscribers away from 600 subscribers. Just 2. Just 2. And that is all that we need. So, let's go on now and start it off with what is currently going on in terms of the entire state of South Carolina and the U.S. Starting off now, no rainfall is falling at this time. No rainfall is indeed falling at this time, so we are good here. Now, what about if we scroll our way out? As you scroll our way out, you can see rainfall that goes all the way over here inside of Montana, as well as Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, going into Wisconsin, Michigan, the UP of Michigan, even going into New York. We have some rainfall over there now. Is there any snowfall with this? Maybe some snowfall over there, like in western Montana, but other than that, I don't see any other snowfall. In terms of cloud cover for right now, actually showing some pretty heavy cloud cover up there, like in the upstate, northern Midlands, maybe the western PD. And if you go into our future, you see that cloud cover will definitely expand a lot more as we get into later tonight, into early tomorrow morning. Cloud cover will continue to move through the state. And then as you get into later in the afternoon, that cloud cover will continue to move its way over into the east, and it will clear up a lot more, as we get into later tomorrow afternoon / evening. Current temperatures right now, 61 in Columbia, as well as 58 in Orangeburg, 56 in Somerville, as well as 58 in Georgetown, 62 in Murrells Inlet, as well as 56 in Conway, 62 in Myrtle Beach, as well as 60 in North Myrtle Beach. We also have around 62 in Charleston, 57 in Hartsville, as well as 60 in Lancaster, 60 in Rock Hill, 61 in York, 64 in Greenville, and 66 in Clemson, 63 in Anderson, and 61 in Greenwood. Low temperatures for tonight are around 54 in Columbia, 59 in Charleston, as well as 55 in Myrtle Beach, 51 in Georgetown, 63 in Hilton Head Island, 54 in Greenville, 53 in Spartanburg, as well as 52 in Newberry and Moncks Corner. Sumter is also included in there, Camden, Winsboro, Rock Hill, all included in there, 53 inside of Aiken as well. Now for your rainfall for tonight, no rainfall is expected. Again, no rainfall is expected at this time. As you go all the way into tonight, into tomorrow, we are good. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 9. At this point, I feel like we've been at a 9 for a good amount of time now. But dry conditions, chilly temperatures, mostly clear, patchy fog, stable atmosphere overall, so we still are good. No thunderstorms are expected tonight, nor tomorrow. And same thing, not same thing on Sunday. Sunday we actually do have a little thunderstorm risk as that cold front pushes east into South Carolina. That will cause for us to get some thunderstorm activity. But for right now, tonight and tomorrow, no thunderstorm activity is expected. So that means our first chance of rainfall in a good little bit comes on Sunday. Excessive rainfall is not expected at this time, even with the cold front coming in soon. That is not going to be a factor. Let's go and check out the models now. So we're going to start off here at the short term, start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. Going and push this forward. Indeed, there is no rainfall that is expected for tomorrow going into tonight. So that is we were expecting that. As you go even into tomorrow night as well, same thing. But there goes that cold front right there, moving eastward through Mississippi, through Alabama, through Tennessee, and that goes all the way through Georgia, through North Carolina. And then by 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, you see this line right here continuing to move through, and we may start to finally see some raindrops up there in the upstate by around 9 to 10 a.m. But that's not the only area. Look near the coastal areas as well. Near like the coastal Charleston County going into Georgetown County, we're starting to see some isolated shower activity move in from the Atlantic as well. And that will move through and bring some moisture through there. It's not going to be as much as the cold front will bring, but it's a good amount. And speaking of the cold front, kind of like in terms of how much convection it will bring, you see how it starts off very strong up there in the upstate, but as it continues to move east by around like 2 p.m., it's moving into the Midlands now, but it's a lot more on just the scattered side, not really as widespread and as powerful as it once was. It is now a lot less powerful. And so it won't bring us as much convection as they saw, obviously, all the way back here. And as it goes to us, it weakens significantly. So that's 2 p.m. right here on October the 19th. That's Sunday. So not quite in the Low Country, the PD, Grand Strand, those areas yet. We'll talk more about this, though. We'll talk more about this later. Now, what about our longer term future? So here comes this area right here. The cold front goes through. And then we get into around Monday right here. Things are still, relatively calm, high pressure here. Goes all the way through to around the 25th, through to around the 26th, the 27th, 28th. And then it stays relatively dry just as we continue to go through. Now, as we go into around October the 29th, going into October the 30th, I'm seeing a big area. Now, this is almost around 300 hours out pretty much, so once we get to this time frame, we really can't go too much further in terms of depth, but we can look at patterns, and one thing that I am noticing is that a huge amount of cold air behind it, potentially. I mean, that just looks like a huge cold front out there to the west, almost like really just entails kind of like a trough. And if you go into the actual dynamics of it, go all the way into, I believe you could just go to right here around. You can kind of see how the low pressure is all the way down there, and it kind of brings its way up. You have the high pressure behind it. So this huge amount of air right here, if it was to occur, again, 300 hours out, so this is likely to change, but this right here would be a pretty monster low pressure right here if it was to. Now, I'm not talking about, obviously, like anything in terms of damaging wind gusts, because that's way too far out. And, anything severe weather-wise with this, way too far out. 300 plus hours. I can't even say what's going to happen here. But this is something interesting that we're going to have to watch for as we get into the last couple of days. This is right here on Halloween, 8 a.m. on Halloween. Luckily, it tries to get out by that time frame, but we'll continue to see what happens, though. We will continue to see what happens. Now, what about thermodynamics? I'm talking about temperatures. This warm temperatures are here, but then as the cold front passes on Sunday, we see some cooler temperatures, and it tries to stay for a good little bit, especially during the nighttime hours, but during the daytime, the warm air definitely prevails a lot more. And then if that low pressure that we just saw happens, that would bring us a lot of cool air as well. So cool air definitely is trying to make its rounds here inside of South Carolina. But that does not mean that warm air is going to be completely gone. And if we look at exact temperatures, obviously way too far out. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of 40s, a lot of 50s, seeing some 70s. I'm not really seeing anything in terms of the 80s like I was seeing a little bit ago. I mean, I still see like 78s, so that could potentially be a little pocket of 80s still going on. And I said that there is a potential definitely still for some 80s to on-go. So that's definitely not impossible. Definitely not impossible. But it seemed like that the cooler air definitely wants to try to prevail as we go through the next 300 to 400 hours or so. So definitely a good thing for cool weather fans. Now, will that last? We'll continue to watch and see there. That is all that I have for the long-term future. What about the tropics? The tropics have these two areas right here that we're watching for. Disturbance 1 is down here. East of the Windward Islands in the Caribbean Sea, a tropical wave located over the central tropical Atlantic around 1,000 miles east of the Windward Islands continues to produce a large area of showers and thunderstorms. Gradual development of the system is possible over the next several days, while it moves west at around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Regardless of development, the system is expected to bring heavy rainfall and gusty winds to the Windward Islands late this weekend, and then move across the Caribbean Sea through much of next week. There's a 0% chance over the next 48 hours and a 30% chance over the next 7 days. Now, that's the main one. We have this one over here, disturbance number 2. This is in the northern Atlantic. A non-tropical area of low pressure is located well off the coast of the northeastern United States. There's a slight chance that this system could develop some subtropical characteristics during the weekend before it turns northeast over the cooler waters by early next week. So this has a 10% chance over the next 48 hours and a 10% over the next 7 days. So this again, right now, non-tropical area of low pressure has no tropical characteristics, but there's a chance that it could potentially turn subtropical. That's it, though, for the tropics. Well, actually, we could go in and look at the models and just see what they say. Just get that update more on that other one down there at the southern side, disturbance 1. But that's it in terms of, like, the actual discussions for them. Here's what the models currently say for it right now. As it goes on and continues its way to the west, we're kind of seeing that same trend still. Kind of. But you can see it stops a little bit. You see right here, we get going. It stays consistent like we've been seeing. But then it dies out. It dies out quickly. And so this was not what we were seeing yesterday. Yesterday we saw this thing going all throughout the Caribbean Sea. We saw it being consistent all the way into Central America, even to the Gulf a little bit, towards Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, these areas over here. And now we're not seeing too much of it. Now we're seeing some other areas starting to pop up a little bit in the Caribbean, like in the Southern Caribbean, that kind of just sits there a little bit. But other than that, it looks relatively quiet besides this area down here. And then the northern area that we're watching for, that one's obviously gone. And so we just have other areas of low pressure that's just going around out here, not doing anything. And so we're now getting to this point. To where we really are trying to ask the question, if this area of low pressure, the disturbance 1, down here, about to enter into the Caribbean, if that one doesn't form, will we have anything else beyond? Obviously, the possibility is still there. It's, hurricane season doesn't end until December the 1st, but it's looking like we still have good sign after good sign, and this definitely could pop back up tomorrow. So just because just tonight it's a little bit on the less consistent side, that does not mean that tomorrow we'll be back on the less consistent side as well. And so that is all that I have for the tropics. Let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris comes in and says, "Good evening, everyone. Hope y'all had a great day. Please remember to go hit the like button and the subscribe button." He's absolutely correct. Right now, we have 9 people in here, and we only have, get this, 5 likes. I don't know what's going on there, but if you are a part of that 4 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. My Aunt Lula comes in and says, "Today in Georgetown was nice and crisp." Great to hear. Glad that it was a nice day for you. Mr. Chris comes back and says, "Well, very comfortable here in Moncks Corner." Glad to hear that. Thank you so much for the weather update over there. Mr. Anthony says, "Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you." And then Thad says, "Good evening, Joseph and friends. I hope all is well. Another lovely day here in San Antonio. I love the way the seasons are transitioning. We are really getting to that transitioning period. Now of where you really are starting to see the transition. I mean, right now at my house, it's 55. And so low temperatures tonight, I believe, go into around like the low 50s. In terms of like exact, I mean, even if you go into the actual low temperature, around the low 50s. And so I think that Honestly, this could just be like a little short term, another just little short term cold blast. But I've already had people asking me, like, oh, is it really starting to get cold now? Is it that time? Or is it just like a little cold front moving through? And I said, well, I mean, we have a cold front that's about to pass. And so, but I mean, it is still October. I mean, it is October, like getting into late October now. So, possibly, but it could also just be because of a cold front, the cold air that we have off to, especially in like the cold, like the coastal areas. Even though for them they actually have the hottest temperatures, but could just potentially just be because of the cool air that we have sitting in the area. But it will get warmer though. It will get warmer. We're not done with the 70s, the high 70s. We may get back into the low 80s, like I said earlier. So I don't think we're quite in the zone yet, but we are definitely getting there. So now that is out of the way, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what in the world am I talking about? I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, as well as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. Now, the reason why we talk about these locations is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And so I decided, well, let's go on and give them their forecast while they are here. And so last night we started off with Philadelphia. So tonight, we're actually going to go on to Duncan being the first one. Then we'll go to San Antonio. Then we will go to Raleigh and then Philadelphia. These forecasts, they don't take that long, only around like 2 or 3 minutes or so. So starting off with Duncan first, you have low temperatures tonight at 65, high temperatures tomorrow at 80, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 49. Slight chance of thunderstorms tonight, and then showers are indeed likely. Showers are indeed likely as you go into tomorrow during the day. And then what about tomorrow night? Seems like tomorrow night seems to be doing relatively well. No precipitation is expected there. In terms of severe weather, nothing for you. You are good in terms of severe weather. And in terms of excessive rainfall, definitely nothing for you either. And then for San Antonio, you have low temperatures tonight at 73, high temperatures tomorrow at 94, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 70. No precipitation is expected at this time. No severe weather is expected either. And same thing with excessive rainfall. You are good there as well. Now for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 48, high temperatures tomorrow at 78, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 57. Indeed, there is no threat for any sort of severe weather nor excessive rainfall either. And then for Philadelphia being the last one, low temperatures tonight at 46, high temperatures tomorrow at 68, and then low temperatures tomorrow at 52. No precipitation is expected, no severe weather, and no excessive rainfall. So that is it for those 4 areas. What is going on throughout the entire U.S., just weather news-wise right now? Looks like a storm system will continue to produce widespread showers and thunderstorms as it progresses east across the central U.S. into the northeast through the weekend. There are risks of severe thunderstorms and excessive rainfall on Saturday from the Ozarks into the mid-Mississippi River Valley, with potential for damaging winds, large hail, tornadoes, and flash flooding. So that will continue as that storm system moves through. It's going to continue to bring all that cooler air, all that freezing conditions over there to the west, and then it's going to cause our weather over here, obviously, on Sunday with that rainfall, and then our cooler air that's going to move through, thunderstorm risk there as well. But other than that, I mean, that's really like the main thing going on. Nothing else really going on right now. Let me go on and check out the audience one more time. I don't see anything over here. Let's go and talk about the top fans. Mr. Chrissy is here at number 1. My Aunt Lou is at number 2. And then Mr. Anthony is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for the night tonight. If you want to be a top fan, you can. You just have to go on and hit the subscribe button, because this is subscriber only mode, and to hit the subscribe button, you need to have a YouTube account. Also, you have to be active inside of the chat, so more than just 1 or 2 messages. That is all that I have, though, for tonight. Make sure that if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button, share button, go on and do so. We're at, right now, 10 people have tuned in. We only have 5 likes. So make sure you go in and do so. We're at 598, 2 subscribers away. That's it. And we will be at that main goal of 600. Also, make sure they go and hit the share button. Share with all the people that you know. Share it to your best friend. Share it to your family member. Share it to your acquaintances. Send it to people that you don't like. It doesn't matter. Just share it to somebody so we can go on and get to this goal of 600. I will be back tomorrow morning with your Saturday morning forecast update. I will most likely not be here tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening, there most likely won't be a forecast. So just keep that in mind. So that means the next forecast update will be on Sunday. And Sunday, we obviously have our week forecast for the week for the last full week of October, being October the 19th, going into October the 25th. So that'll be Sunday evening. So make sure that you are there for that. I will be back tomorrow morning, Saturday morning forecast update. Everyone have a fantastic start to your weekend. And make sure that you are here tomorrow. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave.